Mahalo le Saphron Matamua. I'm Nu'ali'i Eteroa Lafaele.
And I'm Julia Arnott-Neenee. And this is Tech Voyagers, a series that explores the technology and digital realm as Pasefika trailblazers.
Join us each week as we recap the latest tech news and look into the wins, challenges, and impact of technology in our Pasefika communities. So aloha everyone, welcome back to another episode. Yes, we're on episode 6.
Oh my gosh. Is this halfway?
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It's been a really cool week.
It has.
We had lunch with our team.
Yes. How many's in our team?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
5 plus Laura and Wellington.
Yes. And I had to count the table.
I know.
Just to make sense.
It's okay. But that was cool because I think that was the first time that we all got together in person as well.
Yes, because we're remote workers.
Just a plug. We are remote first. Yeah.
But it was cool to be there and to see each other and just have that fellowship, especially through the icebreaker games.
Oh my gosh, how about the icebreaker game this week?
What is your animal?
What is your animal? Okay.
Yes.
So this was, so just to give our listeners, I love how I say that and I'm like embarrassed at myself. Just to give you all context. So again, we try and change up our icebreakers. So we're just building talanoa, building some more sort of connective tissue between us and just having different types of chat. So this week, one of the questions was, what is your animal? And I'm going to make, just because I just filled in conversation, I'm going to make the sis go first. I'm going to make Ita, you go first.
So after trying to change my animal, I think I am a koala.
That's okay.
I don't know. I just like the cute. Okay, I'm cute now. But I just like the way, I don't know. Maybe I give the koala look.
Okay.
But then a hyena feel. There we go. 2 animals in one.
There we go. I love that. I can see that.
Thank you.
And my animals were definitely, actually the team said this. Because I got stage fright about what animal I am. But one of the team members said lioness.
Oh, yes. Wow.
Because very protective, very loyal. But if you ever come for me or my cubs, maybe that's a bit too much, but for me and the pack, I'm like... Oh my God, if that gets cut.
Do that again? Sorry, I didn't hear that. I just wanted to... Oh, yes. There it is. Lion King 3.
Lion King, oh my. Cancel me. So lioness mixed with, flamingo-esque, sort of peacock-esque because of the colour and the like funness and just the lightness and the tall aspect. Yeah. But also, I know this is silly, but maybe for me too, a bit of a monkey because I'm quite cheeky. I'm definitely quite strategic and quite playful as well. So
we love it. See?
I don't even know if we know how to answer these questions.
Well, it's really cool because we get to know about ourselves, but also in a different view.
Hard out.
So
different to strength finders, different to our personality tests we take.
Strength finders.
Our top 5 strengths versus what animals do we think we are? It just shows our range of introspection that we have.
Exactly.
And the other question as well, sis, did you love this one? I loved it. What if you could combine an animal with a household appliance? What would you pick and why? Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, that was... Well, my one was because I got a haircut and it's really hard to get the back angles. So the appliance would be a GHD or Cloud9. So I know about my appliances, But I would love to have like a monkey.
Yeah.
Because one, I love the joyfulness of a monkey, but because monkeys are very they're resourceful.
Yeah.
So I would love to have that and still have conversations.
Oh my gosh, too much.
I love monkeys.
Hey, but what we will say is we love animals. We absolutely believe in humans looking after animals, and this was only a hypothetical conversation, so please don't come for us.
Yes.
Hypothetical only. Okay, on today's show, sis. On today's show, we're going to be navigating and talking about navigating big tech. We've worked in big tech, both of us. Big tech. But before we get into all of that, let's throw to the news. Etsy on the beat. Let's go.
Etsy on the beat. Etsy on the beat. Etsy on the beat. News topic number 1. Google offers an incentive for employees to return back to the office. Okay, you ready for the tea?
Tell me the tea. Is it piping?
Oh my gosh, it's so scorching hot. Like, so here's what happened. Google is like, you know how in lockdown they're like, yes, work from home. We love this.
Everybody, go.
Yeah. But then now that COVID, well, it's not finished.
Yeah.
But things have just, slowly come back to normality.
Yeah.
Google created this incentive where they wanted more of their employees to be living closer to Google. But you'd think, oh, okay, give them a pay rise so they can afford the city life.
Totally.
But no, they created this Google hotel where they get their employees to stay there so that they can come to, like, it'll probably be like a 5-minute commute to the office. Now, get this, you'd think it'd be free, like the drinks, like the snacks. Nah, they have to pay $99 USD. That's right, everyone. You're hearing it right here, right now. $99 to go and live in a place where they don't want to. I don't think it's 5-star. I don't think at all. And then they make them stay there for them to walk for 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
You got me at 5, but 10 no. And they think this is like, so this is one of the incentives to try and get everyone back into the office.
Do you know what I think of when I hear these things? I just think of like, imagine that boardroom, imagine that meeting where someone would have been like, I've got a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's build a hotel.
Let's build a hotel. Well, I think they either, if it's not built, but they must have bought the hotel or got them to book it. But still, it's...
I mean, the only thing I hope is that if it wasn't someone going, I've got a great idea, that it was potentially they actually went to their employees and were like, what do you need?
Yeah.
Because I think that's, again, a different thing. If the employees have said, I would love an option to stay close to the office and I want to pay for it, or... I understand I'll have to pay for something.
For something,
And 99, like, if it was employee-led, I think that's a different outcome. But if it's literally like something that's imposed on them and it was like no community consultation, by community, I mean the employee, like if there wasn't like, we've got this idea, what do you think? What would make you want to stay? Can you bring your family? Can you bring your dog? Yeah. Can you bring your cat? Can you bring the microwave you really like? I have no idea.
Exactly.
But like, I mean, again, this feels somewhat, I mean, incentives work to nudge behavior, but what's the root cause?
Oh, because that's the thing. It's like, oh, you do not still get the same amount of productivity from the workers. So I don't know, maybe it's a culture shift. They want more, I don't know, belonging.
Or control.
Or control, yes.
Oversight.
Yeah. But then the thing is like, man, like not everyone's a city people. Like
that's true.
So it's just like 99.
I mean,
done 99.
I think also just the fact that it's sort of like where did the idea come from?
I don't know.
Where did the idea come from? And also, are we really actually looking after the people, or are we playing into capitalism? And it's like the value that you bring is in productivity, and we want to be able to see and feel and know what you're doing at a certain amount of thing, like, and to try and kind of, you know, create this ring fence around, if you're an employee, then you stay on campus and you get the benefits, and because then you want to work more, and then you're and your identity becomes the company more than it becomes you as a self-actualized human.
Exactly. Because they know that if they bring you, well, I don't know, maybe in their minds are like, okay, if we bring the whole family here, that means they're, let's say they get bored, they can walk over to work. And it's like, I would never get bored, okay?
What do you mean? You don't want to work for $5 all the time?
I want to work for $5
all the time,
but not for me. Not for $99. You know, it's just.
I love it.
Shocker.
I love it. What's news item number 2?
Oh, news item number 2 is Meta threatens to fire workers for return to office because of a leaked memo. Now, are you ready for this tea? I imagine you're at work writing all your stuff and you find out that you got given a leaked memo that you weren't meant to know about. So that's what happened at Meta. So Meta had a memo that was sent to HR that was leaked about that if anyone in Meta doesn't reach the policy, which is 3 days a week, they can get fired or they get threatened to be fired. Now, let me just plait my hair. If I can. That is just a whole level of, for me, I was like, wow, one to find out that way.
Yeah.
Not up front in front of
Totally.
everyone at all
Totally.
hands, like, hey, this is where we're going. But to find out through that kind of channel, oh,
Do you know what? I always wonder what happened to the leaker.
true.
Like, what actually, did the leaker get in trouble? Did they find out who the leaker was?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I know we should talk, we are going to talk about what Meta's done, but
Yeah.
I do wonder, what happens to the leaker?
Well, that's the thing is, like, because I think they were using, well, if it's not like Slack or Microsoft
yeah.
or whatever, but that stuff are real easy. You just take a screenshot.
Hard out, or someone just walks past.
Yeah.
Oh, I just walked past your computer screen as that
Exactly.
memo was up. Oh my gosh, it's wild. I mean, it's scary to know again that this is one of the difficult things, right? What are all the invisible power systems that are playing?
Yep.
That you think you're an employee, here's your contract, you're doing your job, you're safe, and really there's all these other things that are happening around you that if you're not part of the in crew, or if you're not part high enough up the food chain, you're just a pawn for them to go, okay, this person doesn't know that they're actually breaking a rule, or that we're starting to get annoyed at them, or that we're thinking about firing them. There's no transparency. It's just, if they're not doing it, gap.
Oh, and like 3 days, and like not even a warning. Like,
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah,
It's just an interesting. And because another thing with me was, okay, so how do they know that we're in the office or not? So a lot of that data is through their badges.
of course.
And it's just like, wow.
I mean, I'm surprised they haven't gone on to full-blown tracking systems, to be fair.
It might get to
Considering
that
they'd be able to know if their employees are on their Instagram and Facebook and other
Yeah.
apps, like, I'm sure.
No, because my last role.
Yeah,
in
tell me,
my
tell me.
corporate, But we had to get rid of the badges, and we had to use our phones, our personal phones, as a way to unlock and go into the building. So yeah, there's a massive blend of like. For me, I'm like, oh, can I get another phone? Like 2 phones,
And then I'll leave the phone here when I
Yeah.
leave the office.
and just. So yeah, there's a lot of that kind of stuff that's happening. So
Hey, aren't you glad you're not in it though?
yeah, I don't. You can just tell when I'm active. Alrighty, number 3.
Tell me, sis.
So to add on to the friction of the in-office,
Yeah.
Amazon relies on serendipity. Oh, I like that word. For office return, employees want the data. So another T
Okay.
was Amazon has this return policy just like the other ones, which was 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And then the head of Amazon went up into all hands and like kind of spoke about, hey, everyone, I know that we're going through this change of time, COVID, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes into saying, but here are the perks of working in the office. Now, he gave it from a view of, this is why it's great.
Yeah.
With no data,
Oh.
no API citation, nothing to back up the thing. And it really caused a lot of rift within Amazonians.
Interesting. Oh.
That's right. If you look at Amazon.
No, they don't call. No,
they
that's
call it-
wrong.
I know, that's what they call it. Was on the article. So they called themselves Amazonians, and then I know. That's right. I just thought I'd just put that in there. So they call themselves like that. Well, that's what a lot of them
Yeah,
call
I
themselves.
know.
Like, if you're, when I used to work at Vend,
Yeah.
they used to call us vendors. So it's like this, it's a big thing in tech, calling it just belonging.
Yeah, I know.
It's the belonging piece. But
What would we be? Fiberfallians?
I think Chiefs, but we'll get to that one. Oh, bliss. But to that news article, a lot of the employees at Amazon are just not, they don't think what is it called again? Serendipity is enough.
No, of course it's not.
They want to know more. They want to know the data. They want to see, is productivity more in person or back at home?
Yeah, but what are the inputs that are basing their decision on, and where that kind of force is coming from?
Yeah.
Like, what evidence are you basing these policies on?
Yeah.
And why are you trying to enforce them so heavily?
Exactly. And you know what else was kind of an eye-opener looking into the news is all these big players are all starting to go back into the office. And if it's like, what do you call it? It's like if they move the dial that way, everyone else will start moving the dial that way.
Or, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
or they used to be young and cool and hip and flexible and all the things and different, and now they've reverted into being corporate America.
Yeah.
And that's going to have an impact. And then the next gen of young and cool and hip and different, or maybe not necessarily young, but just that next wave of innovation and newness and rebellion almost to how things have been done before, that will come through and that will win the talent.
Exactly.
Because again, like so many people that left the other versions of corporate America, which could have been seen in the banking or consulting or whatever it is, finance, that came into tech because it was hip and you could come in your jandals and
Startups,
startup life. And then that's had to scale. And as it scaled, I mean, we've talked about this, right? As it scaled, it's had to sanitize itself.
Gosh, yes. It's had to sanitize itself.
And in order to survive, to be able to hold the infrastructure in place. Because and we're going to get into this, like, actually, let's just cut the news and let's just get into it because I'm going to start going into some all over the show thoughts.
We're so excited for our talanoa, and that is the news from Iti from the Bay.
Woo!
Yes. Iti on the beat. Iti on the beat.
Okay, so on today's talanoa, it's absolutely connected to our news, all about big tech.
Yes.
And to define big tech or to kind of frame big tech, it talks about dominant technology companies. So not the small players, but the big ones. And it's pretty funny, like there's now acronyms to describe these big tech companies. And one of them is FANG. So Facebook, which is now Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, or Alphabet is kind of the parent company.
Yep.
And Etsy and I have had differing lived experience working in big tech. I work for HP, so HP Inc., which is not HP Boys, it's not Harry Potter, it's not HP Source. It is the printer that you hate. But HP makes PCs and printers and 3D printing and a whole bunch of other things as well. So I worked for them. And Ete, who did you work for in the realm of big tech?
Realm of big tech. I think my first big tech was Vend, which is now called Lightspeed. And the second was Zero. Yeah. Those were the two.
So we both have worked in big tech, and I mean, there's a fine art and there's a harsh truth in working in and surviving big tech, right? And we know that in Aotearoa in particular, there's not just two parts of the tech ecosystem, but there's definitely some of the big tech names here.
Yeah.
And then there's some smaller startup communities. And I think a lot of what we see in terms of awareness really is more around big tech than it is around sort of the startup space.
Yeah.
Would you reckon that's a fair statement?
Yeah, I doubt. Everyone always wants to go for that big Apple way.
Yeah, totally. So in today's talanoa, we're gonna. We got to be real, right? Like I resigned from big tech.
Yeah.
Did you resign from big tech?
I resigned too.
Yeah. So we should just be very transparent. We have left big tech, but in order to share insights and not be gatekeepers, we will be, lifting the veil or lifting the lid.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Around how we survived. Because I worked, I think it was total 2.5 come to 3 years and worked in a couple of different countries as well. So how did we survive? How did we still, I guess, in our time, move upwards? To a certain degree, and I think what are some lessons that could be shared for others around the roles that exist, insights, how to keep yourself safe within those big companies, and then into our takeaways. Yes. Well, should we start with this? Like, I don't know, hacking into the industry. How did you survive working in big tech, or what was your experience?
Yeah, no, my experience was the entry or the open door was internships.
Yes.
So, but paid internships because sister got bills. Yeah, sister got to live. Got food. So it was entry through internships. So my internship was at Vend, and real open view at the bottom of the food chain.
Well, because how did you survive that state? Like, what did you do to, I don't know, to be fair, if we think about our younger selves, we wanted to do well.
Very well.
In these big tech jobs.
Yes. And because when you join in a group, and honestly, if you want to see a real life cat fight, it's internships, and graduates, because everyone wants to please the manager. Everyone wants to look amazing, and everyone wants to be seen. Yeah, it's always, especially when you're around. So I came from a developer view. Yeah. So like for us, we wanted to show the fastest tech, fastest code. Can you deliver?
So was that a hack?
The hack, yes. The hack is to know know how to work.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. And I know we go to university, but it teaches us how to learn.
Yeah.
But how to work is a whole different playing field, eh? Like, you've got to be real fast.
Yeah. Okay. So speed was important.
Speed, yeah. Lightning speed. Because I couldn't keep up, I'll be honest.
Really?
It was too much. I was like, what?
That's so interesting.
All that money, and I didn't know.
So one of the things so when I got my first big tech role,
Yeah.
it was in London, and I was living in Sydney, and I had never lived in London before, right? And so one of the things that I always thought about is, again, how am I going to get these people to like me?
Yeah.
Because once they like you, then normally they can work with you. But if they don't like you, it's going to be really hard for them to want to work with you as the newcomer.
Yeah.
And I'm not even just the newcomer to the team. I'm the newcomer from the other continent.
Yeah.
Right? So I did things like, taking people out for coffees, offering to buy them lunches, being so interested in their lives,
Yeah.
like ridiculously interested in their lives, and showing like a lot of, I mean, I know this sounds so bots and like very, okay, but we're being real. We're lifting the lid.
Yes.
It's like, if you take a real genuine interest in someone and want to understand them, that helps them to feel a level of connection to you. And so when you do that, then when it comes to actually working on a project together, you're not strangers anymore.
Yeah.
So that was one of I set up meetings with all of the team locally in the UK, had one-to-ones meetings with all of them, really tried to always make sure that they didn't feel threatened by me. So that is absolutely a hack. For me, coming in as the newcomer from a different place was, how do I make sure I don't appear as a threat? Because if people put their walls up, then they also will not won't bring their best for you. So I tried to make sure that they knew I wasn't a threat. I said that my whole goal was making them look good.
Yeah.
And it was also showing a real personal and genuine connection into wanting to get to know them. Yeah.
Wow.
What about you, sis?
I think I did play it differently because I just didn't care. Because in the dev world, they don't like talking to each other.
I guess so. That is caveating. I was working in the non-technical realm as well.
Yeah, no, these guys don't want to talk. They just want to see the work, eh? So if you come technical, be prepared that the human is not as, is not as, loving, or because they show love in a very different way, eh? But I think another thing with me is always question. Always question. Just because he's a senior developer doesn't mean he is a gold medal. You're the one fresh out of the school, okay? They've been out of school for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think you have to question everything, but not, because you're right, they do get intimidated when you ask them questions.
Yeah.
But you've got to push through because you're a lone soldier as a developer.
Yeah.
Because with them, the highest level is when you work on your own. Because you have to work in teams for years.
Yeah.
But you've got to ask them because and don't be scared of it, because also that actually shows, like you said, how involved you are, or also how, what's it called, how you're invested in solving the problem.
Yes.
So ask heaps of questions because, man, one, it makes you look good, but two, you get heaps of insights.
Oh, I love that. Okay, and another hack from me. I'm not the best at time management. Like, I won't lie about that. Like, some people are really good at being punctual, and but on time is what is it? On time is late. That's some people's hacks. And if you're that person, then people know you're reliable. They know they see you as consistent. They see you as eager. That was not necessarily my strength, but the other things I did was, and the reason why I find this difficult to talk about is because it's gross.
Yeah.
That you're having to play these games to make yourself be worthy in the eyes of others. But this is also why I resigned from corporate tech. Okay, so this is what I did to survive, but these are the same things that made me want to leave. So that I would do things like I'd dress very differently. So it was very strategic of me in terms of how I dressed. So I was often the youngest person in the room. So I used to wear red lipstick, or I'd wear a blazer, or I'd wear heels, or I'd take certain cues because it's all about what is the human reaction to what you're doing and wearing to try and get across or to overcome people's ageism towards me. That just because she's young, she's not smart or she's not wise or she doesn't have lived experience. But if it was harder for them to see me as young by having certain cues that made me look older, then that meant I'd have more respect in the room. So that was another hack, was using, and I remember I read an article because it's gross. It's like, why can't I just be myself? The truth is the truth.
Yeah.
But treating this as just as a superhero has to put on a cape when they go and fight bad guys, I was putting on, what is my version of a cape? Is it a watch? Is it glasses? Is it lipstick? What is it that makes me feel as though I can walk in more confidently into a space? So that is totally a hack, is take the superficial things seriously and be strategic about how you want to be perceived by others. I don't necessarily believe in it now. Like I believe in much more around wear what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel awesome. But in corporate, some of the stuff, it matters.
Yeah,
it matters. I got more hacks to go, but you go next, sis.
I think from a tech side, thoughtful leadership is a big thing. For those that don't know, is if you can do the technical work, the biggest hack really is being able to teach other people the technical work, but also how to solve it. So what that looks like is you need to go and speak to conferences. You need to go to tech meetups. You need to go show people, because the reason why that's a hack is because not many can do that. And so I had an advantage when I was there as a dev, because I was like, oh guys, just give me the problem, I'll talk about it. But because it's natural, because as Pasefika, we can talk, you know. But if you can talk at a what's it called, when the content is different, that's a whole other level of, oh my gosh, you're amazing. But really it helps you in your learning journey as a technical person, but to the ability to lead other people into knowing your knowledge, oh man,
wow,
gold medal.
Amazing.
And I reckon it's hard because you can't just go up and be like, I'm gonna make this on the spot. Nah, like you're facing other people who do the same work, and you'll have a lot of debates, but that's the art of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And I think it kind of connects to one I was going to kind of lead on to, which is, again, try and be the teammate that everyone enjoys being around. Like, I know, I just,
it makes sense.
I don't know, like people, I remember like, I just love her energy and just love how she comes with so much enthusiasm. And I remember, I reckon that's why people would want to keep me on. And if they were thinking about, well, who we had to choose between, it's the person, if you're going to spend 10 hours a day with people, like who's going to actually be someone you want to be around, that's fun to be around, that has good positive energy, that brings enthusiasm. And at that time, I was so drinking the Kool-Aid that I reckon it was all real, right? Like it was the enthusiasm was real at that time. But it wasn't just in working context. It was also in terms of, I'd put my hand up. I started up an internal podcast to get people more connected and make them. I put myself up for being interviewed. I remember I was the only, like I was brand new. But then I would do karaoke with the global CMO. And like no one else wanted to do karaoke with him. And I was like, woohoo, you got this. And like the next day on the conference, they called out my name in front of everyone. And I was like, but like those moments of being someone who's memorable for the right reasons is really, really important.
That's actually so true.
Really important. Oh my gosh. But what about some of the roles that I think people wouldn't necessarily know about when it comes to big tech? So thinking about non-technical roles, and then I'll kind of speak to technical roles, like what are the different pathways that are available out there?
Yeah, because everyone always thinks in a technical realm you have to be a dev.
Yeah.
That's only one route. But from a technical view, you can actually come in as like, there are like infrastructure engineers. So just to give more context, it's like building the environment where we code in. So people don't know about that.
Yeah.
And it's not, and that kind of stuff it does require coding, but it's not the full build of everything.
Yeah.
What's it called? You could be a project manager and join a technical team. Not even kidding.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. Because if you can talk our language and understand a developer's emotions, then you're all good.
Hard out.
Because like you just know how to navigate a whole dev team to get to to get to the end product. So like there's project managers, product owners.
Yeah.
And then there's also like scrum masters.
Oh, hard out.
Like there's heaps. So to really break it down, you don't have to be technical to be in a technical role. You just need to understand how we are. That's really what it is.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's like people leadership.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
For a different type of people.
I love that though. I mean, in the non-technical space, you've got marketing, you've got insights. Like my role as an insights manager was to more deep dive into understanding how do people think and feel about the products and work with the product manager who then works with the more technical side. Like it's a whole food chain to a degree. Like you got human resources, finance and accounting, operations. I mean, I feel like we could almost have a whole nother episode on just pathways of the future. Hey, sis.
Exactly.
Honestly. but I think we got one. I mean, I'm so excited for this play to round out our conversation on big tech, because it's just there's so many places we can go. We're going to play red flag, green flag. So we're going to, one of us will say a statement and then we'll say red flag, green flag.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah, we'll do a practice.
Okay. Okay, you ready? Are you ready?
Okay.
When the SLT team refers to you all as family.
Oh, red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Nah.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. How do I say this? When your manager adds you on Instagram.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Nah, don't.
When you share that you've had a traumatic experience and they say, just wait till you become a senior person.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
That's so bad. When they ask you to do karakia all the time, when they've been in this country for a long time and they still haven't learned the karakia. Two red flags.
Double, triple.
Yeah.
All the red flags.
All the red flags.
All the red flags.
How long have you been here?
What's another one?
When they name all the rooms after te reo places, but they don't have a treaty Waitangi strategy in the company.
Red.
Yeah.
Red
flag.
flag. Oh, I know. When they offer you that this company is your purpose and your life, but ultimately they only care about profits.
Red flag.
Red flag. Red flag.
Oh my god.
Oh, I got one. When the whole exec team is only males.
Oh, red flag.
Red
nah,
flag.
you gotta see that stuff before you join the company.
Oh, hard out. Or when they say that they care about social impact, but then they're only ever using people for being on poster children of their campaigns, but nothing actually has changed inside of the companies.
Oh, red flag.
We have not said any greens.
Oh, yes, sorry. When we can pay our bills.
Yeah.
Green
flag.
Green flag.
When you get health insurance.
Green flag.
Green flag. When you are paid to travel, when you get to travel with the company.
Green flag.
Green flag.
I think, and this might be a orange flag, but when they open up opportunities to build communities for our people.
Oh yeah.
You know, that it's very rare.
Yeah.
Sometimes it has to involve a fight to get to that. So orange, maroon.
I think another one is when you get to test and expand your skills inside of the company where, again, it's not as much risk as if you were in a startup.
Yeah, that's a green flag.
That's definitely. I mean, that's why I think big tech is. I wouldn't have skipped big tech because of the experience and the skill development that is available.
Yeah, and they actually pay for your upskilling.
I was about to say learning and development, right?
Oh man, they have a big pool.
Yes.
Like, I had to learn about another programming language and they paid for the whole course.
Whoa, green professional
flag.
Development.
Yeah.
Green flag. Amazing. Should we move to our takeaways?
Oh my gosh. Well, takeaways with Fibre Whare. Here is your order. Number 1 is drink the golden pash, but don't get drunk from it. Yes. So what that means is you can have a sip of the golden pash because you love that with a pie. But it doesn't mean that you have to drink all of it and then you lose control within in that realm, especially in corporate. But I think a big thing is you worked hard.
Yeah.
You can definitely have a sip of that amazing golden pash, creamy soda. But a big thing is to be aware, you know. There will be a time where, a redundancy will come around the corner.
Yeah.
And all that sweet and all that beautiful wording, everything that came into it is literally gone in literally 45 seconds. because that's the nature. Because I remember you mentioned before, it's all about making capital. And if the business is not thriving, then they have to do stuff like that too. So
the taps turn off.
Yeah.
The company's
dry.
golden patch turns off.
Yeah, it's just a can.
Beautiful, beautiful. Takeaway number 2 is treat it like an experiment and testing sandbox for your development.
Yes.
That's a big one for me is, use the facility, the resources, the experiences, the opportunities to grow yourself. But also, if you do start seeing through the smoke and mirrors and you realize they only actually care about shareholder returns, don't expect everyone else to be able to see that like you do. Because I remember when I started talking about it that I was like, this isn't really very purposeful and People used to talk about the golden handcuffs, which is once you start earning that amount, it's very hard for you to step away from that life.
And the dedication, if you're there for a long time, it makes you, you're just cuffed up to the max.
And cuffed.
Wow.
I know.
That's a good one.
I know.
And those are our takeaways from Lafaele.
Oh, well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed our talanoa today. Join us next week where we'll be talking all things tech and culture.
You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and let us know what you want to hear. Until next time, fam, tō whāsoifua, and we'll see you then.
Woo!
You've been listening to Tech Voyagers, brought to you by Lafaele.
It was hosted by me, Julia Arnott-Neenee.
And me, Nuali'i Eteroa Lafaele.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're following Tech Voyagers on your favourite podcast player so you get new episodes as soon as they land.
Join the talanoa and let us know your thoughts using hashtag Tech Voyagers on all socials.
And if you want to know more about pathways for Pasefika people in tech, visit fiberfale.com.